protector and the judge are setting up the election equipment, the two clerks will be setting up the ePoll pads. So in this YouTube video, Leather and Kelly are both clerks. Leather will read the instructions on setting up the ePoll pad while Kelly follows through with what she says.
Okay, all right, let's get started. Are you ready, Clerk Kelly?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so this big green case is what your ePoll pad will be in. It's kind of like a tackle box to open it. Here you'll have a blue label thing. On one side of it, we have demo because it's a demo, but it'll have your precinct with your polling location just to kind of double check that you've got the right poll pad.
Yeah.
Okay, if you want to go ahead and open that up, Kelly. So whenever you open it up, everything's going to be in their spot. Also in your supply bag material, you're going to have an ePoll instruction booklet, and you will receive one of these at the trainings as well. That you can keep your notes in. Okay, here we go. All right, so we're gonna flip in here and get started. I'm kind of selling. Okay, so first we're gonna start with the printer. This big square is your printer. So you can go ahead and pull that out, Kelly. Okay. And then underneath here is your stand for your pads. You can set that to the side. And you can go ahead and pull out your power cord. So you're gonna have a black power cord in there. You will have, you can plug it in to the surge protector that you already have supplied for the machines, or you will have another one in there too if you just want your own power source if it's not necessarily close to the machines. So Kelly's gonna go ahead and plug in one into her surge protector.
Okay.
And then, like the other power boxes before, these are very delicate. Handle them with care. If you happen to drop them, they can blow a circuit and they will not work. So we don't want that. So you can lay that on the table with the printer. And then this part of the cord is going to go into the back of the printer. And like before, the flat side will go up. It's just in the very back, right hand bottom corner of the printer. And you'll kind of hear it make a little noise.
Okay.
And then you'll just kind of tug on it a little bit to make sure it's in there nice and good.
Yeah.
Okay, so on the front, it'll show you a green light here at the bottom for power. And if there happens to be an error, you'll have a red light here underneath error, but we've got a green light, so we're good to go.
Okay.
Next, you're gonna go ahead and set up your poll pad stands.
Okay.
This disc will be first, and then you're gonna grab the stand arm.
Okay.
And what I like to do is connect the stand arm to your iPad first, and then you can just put it all in here in one piece. So you'll go ahead and pull your pad out. And these do have a protector on them, but handle them with care. They can break easily.
Okay.
Okay, so on here, you're gonna go ahead and extend that out a little bit. And then unbend it. There you go. Now, this circle part.
Show him.
Okay, yeah. So the circle part is gonna match in here. And what you'll have to kind of do is you'll squeeze there's two pinchers on the side. You kind of squeeze those as you rotate it in the circle and it should latch. Looks like?
Yes.
All right, and then you can go ahead and you'll place the stand into the hole on the circular pad. You'll have to use a little bit of pressure. Okay, and then you're gonna rotate the screen. Landscape style, there you go. And then this, it swivels and it adjusts back and forth, to make it comfortable for your voter. So then next will be your ID card tray, so that will slide in if you flip your pad around. And then
Okay.
tilt it up. It should slide, this notch should slide straight into there. And now this tray will only slide into your screen on one side, so if for some reason you have it flipped over, it's not gonna, it won't slide in there nicely like that, it'll have to be on the correct side. Okay? And then you can kind of adjust it back. There you go. Okay, and then now you're ready, you can grab your chart or your, grab your pins. There's a little hole here to set one pin, and then you have a spare in there as well. And then you also have a charging block and a charging cord. And we suggest that you go ahead and just leave it plugged in all day. Just so you don't have to worry about the battery going low and you have to come get the charger, all that. If you just leave it plugged in all day, it'll work just fine. And why throughout the day, we are allowed to monitor the activity on the ePoll pad, so we can make sure that your printer is connected when it needs to be, or if for some reason you have an issue and it comes unconnected, or in the event that your battery is low because you don't have it plugged in, we can give you a call and let you know, like, hey, it's time to plug your iPad in, you're getting low, things like that. So Kelly, if you want to go ahead and plug that in. And then once you've got everything out of your case, you can shut that and set it off to the side. So then that way it's not in your way. You don't get, tripped up over it, or it doesn't get ruined. I'm going to plug it in for you.
Okay, perfect.
And then we're going to plug this in. Oh no.
Now, your voting equipment and your ePoll pads will actually be possibly 20, 30 feet away from each other. So they won't actually be plugged into the same power source, but you'll have a second surge protector and extension cords to plug in the ePoll pad.
Great.
Okay. Once you turn on your poll pad, which the button's over there, you just hold it in until you see the apple, and then you let it go. The first screen that you're gonna see is gonna say, welcome to poll pad. So this shows you that you've done great this far. Good job, Kelly. You follow instructions well. Okay, so to start this, you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna hit the P icon there at the bottom. It's gonna pull up like this. Now, we have this in training mode, so that's how you're gonna see that this purple up here. That purple will not be there whenever you guys get signed in. So you're gonna double check that it says Gibson County 2023 municipal election. And then it should also have your polling location on the screen as well as the date. So just verify that all that's correct. If everything looks good, you will hit the get started button. And then you will have your Republican sign in and your Democrat sign in. We will have on your poll pad instructions the passwords, but if y'all know as well, we like the ones. So for the Republican sign in, your username is just going to be an R. And then you'll come over to the password and it's 4 1s.
Okay.
And then the Democrat clerk will do the same thing, except for your username will be a D with 4 1s. Okay. And then once you get to this screen, you're good to go. You're ready to vote your voters. I'm going to back up just a step. Majority of the locations will have Wi-Fi and your pad will automatically connect to your Wi-Fi, just from where you've used it in the primary. But in the event, maybe the connection's slow or you're at a location that doesn't have Wi-Fi, you will have a cradle point in your supply bag. And all this is kind of like a hotspot. It's gonna give you internet. You'll just have to plug in the antenna. We've got instructions in that book as well to do so. And I'm actually gonna refer to them because I'm not very familiar with the cradle point. Okay. So it's on page 6. You're gonna have your power here. And you'll plug that in. There's a little notch here on the side that matches this. It's gonna go in this far hole. This will plug into your power supply. You're gonna have 3 antennas. Almost like rabbit ears. Yeah. All right, so then over here on the picture, it'll show you that both of these flat ones will go in to the sides. Okay. And then, you're gonna hit this home button here. Then you will go to the settings. And then plug this in. Okay. And when you have power to your cradle point, you will have lights on the outside of it where you plug in your cord. Get this unraveled. Sorry about that one prepared. You'll have lights here that let you know it's on and that you have signal. So at this point, you will go to your Wi-Fi and it's searching for a network. Give it a second, it's still thinking here. All right.
What's the Wi-Fi name in here? Okay.
It's automatically connected to that one because it's used for that one. So it'll pop up on here. It's like CNOKIE with some numbers. Then you'll just tap that network. Yeah, here it is. So it's Cahokia, CAHOKIE, and it automatically connected. You'll have a check mark, and then you'll see your Wi-Fi kind of antenna bars up here in the corner. So you're good to go. You've got connection in the event that you will have to use a cradle point. So Kelly, simply just tap your home button and then hit your P icon to get you back to your get started machine, or get started screen. And now you're ready for motors.
Should we not connect that 3rd antenna?
I'm gonna say no. In the instructional booklet, it doesn't tell us anything about the 3rd, so I don't know if this is maybe for another situation.
Or goes on the bottom?
Yeah.
Where the blue light is?
Yeah, I mean, you could plug it in. I mean, it looks like it goes right here, but I don't know the need for it. Maybe make the signal stronger.
Could be. I know we used it over at the 4-H center. there, and we used it at the Toyota event center, I
Okay.
think because the buildings are basically metal,
Okay,
and so they needed a better system, so we ended up using all of them to get a better system, better
Okay.
signal.
nice, okay, yeah, so go ahead and just plug that or screw that in there,
How close does that need to be to the machine? If you put it in a different area of the room?
You can, I'm not, as far as the signal, I've not tested it to know the feet, but I know just for instance, like this is a polling location. The clerks are typically set up here by the doors and we have it over there, what about 15 feet away? And it's been fine.
15, 20. Because so the Wi-Fi, the cradle itself does not plug into the ePoll pad.
Correct,
Okay.
right. Yeah, that's kind of a wireless connection there, so.
And we will also provide laminated instructions on how to operate the ePoll pad. We'll give those to you during training as well. Ballots. So they have this set up, and then the next step is to set out their ballots.
Yes, so clerks, yeah, Kelly, you might have grabbed those. The clerks are responsible for getting your voters checked in and giving them the ballots that they requested. So once you get your ePoll pad set up in a comfortable position, you're gonna wanna lay your ballots, at least a pad. Depending on your location, it depends on how many pads of ballots you have. Each pad has 50 in there, so if you wanna set maybe 2 pads out at a time, that's fine. But you're gonna want to pull from 1 pad at a time. Don't, get mixed up because then your ballot count might be off by the end of the night, or harder to keep track of. So you'll set those, where it's comfortable for you. So once you realize when your ticket prints out, what ballot your voter would get, you will simply, they're perforated. So Kelly, go ahead and fold and tear one of those off for us. So she's just bending, creasing it, and then she's gonna simply tear it.
And the ticket number is supposed to match the ballot number.
Yes, so the precinct on your ticket that comes out of here should match the top left corner of the ballot. It's, the ballot's abbreviated, the ticket will not be, but you'll be able to tell that they coincide.
And how many ballots does Oakland City have?
Oakland City will have 4 different ballots. Because you have 4 different city council districts there. So depending on what council district the voter is in, depends on what ballot they will get. So if you've got the correct ballot, both clerks verify that this is the precinct on the ticket, this is the ballot. You will then flip the ballot over and the Democrat clerk will sign in one box and then the Republican clerk will sign their initials in the other box. Then you can pass it to the voter and they're ready to vote.
What if the tickets don't match the numbers?
You can give us a call at the election office and we can kind of walk you through, or if you have, for instance, if you're in Patoka 1 and 6 polling location, or if you're at the annex, there's 2 locations or 2 precincts in there, Patoka 1 and Patoka 6. So you will have a Patoka 1 ballot style and you'll have a Patoka 6 ballot style. So the bottom of the ticket should say Patoka 1. Your top of your ballot should say PAT 1. If it says PAT 6, then that's the wrong ballot style for that voter. But if you just give us a call, then we can help instruct that too.
So what if I have a voter come in and they're not at the right polling location? What do I do? Does the ePoll pad tell me that?
Yes, there's one of 2 answers here. Whenever you scan the voter in here, it's gonna tell them their township and precinct. And if it's not 1 or 6 and they're in the wrong spot, it will tell you where they need to go. Or if you don't want to get that far, or you get that far and you're just kind of stunned, you can just call us and we can look them up and send them to the right place as well.
So what you're saying is that ePoll pad is only set up for the voters in that precinct, that district. That's
Yes.
the only thing it will read. If I'm not in that precinct or district, it will tell me that I need to go to another district.
Yes, so only the voters within that precinct can vote. It would pull up any voter, but they just would not be able to proceed to vote because this would not be the right location.
And what's the number you call if you have trouble?
The election office is 812-385-2541.
Did you have anything else you wanted to say? All right. Well, thank you. That concludes this YouTube video. We hope you find that the information is helpful. And again, we will have this so you will be able to pull it up the day of the morning of setup as well. And thanks again for attending, and especially thanking all of you for working the polls.
Thank you.